We have the fan on now, so if you have any trouble hearing in the back, come on up front, or raise your hand, and the candidates will probably project louder if necessary. The next question starts with Ms. Colbert, and it's for everyone. What is your opinion or perspective about East Aurora adding full-day kindergarten?
Well, I was one of the 4 board members who supported full-day kindergarten. When I joined the board, I was not a proponent of full-day kindergarten, but after I joined, we had a committee that was put together to study whether or not full-day kindergarten was what East Aurora needed to do. And I made sure that that committee had 3 members on it out of 7 that were opposed to full-day kindergarten. And that committee investigated and studied whether or not we should make that move, and came back with a unanimous recommendation to the school board that we should go to full-day kindergarten. At the same time, then, I came into Parkdale Elementary. My kids had just gone through the half-day program, but they had progressed on, and so I went back in and I witnessed our half-day program, and then had an opportunity to go over to Orchard Park and examine their full-day program. I also am supportive of the move now because over the last several budget cycles we have done a tremendous amount at the elementary level that eliminates the support system that the half-day program has been able to survive with. We have reduced academic intervention services in reading and math. We cut a reading recovery program that targeted those kids who were not reading at the level they needed to be at. We have cut summer school at the elementary school level as well. And this year we are increasing class sizes in our elementary grades. So I think now more than ever we need to move to full day. I am convinced after looking at the numbers from our school business officials that now is the time for us to do it. It will be fully funded for 2 years. Foundation aid is expected to run to be able to fund it after that. And I think that now is the time. I don't think we can wait 10 years to see whether or not all these cuts that we've done and all the services that we've eliminated for our elementary school children are going to have an effect on what our class rankings are going to be, or our rankings are going to be at the high school level later on. I think we need to move now. And if you look at where our student scores are most troubling, it's at our elementary grade levels. So I support it.
Thank you. Mr. Holbrook.
This issue is a good one to show that we can have a healthy difference of opinion. I've also examined that issue over many years and examined the literature. In my view, it's been mixed about the necessity of full-day kindergarten. You can't argue with the success that we've had in this school district with one of the few programs that's half-day. But with that said, it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with full-day. It does mean that in weighing that mixed review from academics and the various presentations that I've seen over the year, you balance that off against the current budget circumstances that we're facing. And as I view the proposal for full day in the climate that we're in presently, with the challenges that we know we're going to face, and with the uncertainty related to any funding that comes out of Albany, we tend to struggle in this district with aid from Albany because we're viewed as not being as needy as other places. So very often we are at risk, in my view, of whether those funds will be there. So with all that weighed, I was part of the 7 members who felt it was not the time for full-day kindergarten. With that said, one of the things I fully believe in as a board member is you make your points, you do it as credibly as you can, you do it as persuasively as you can. Ultimately, we respect the decision of the board. And so this won't be the first time or the last time I will probably be in disagreement with some of my colleagues. But I fully respect the process. I accept the result, and I'm going to do all I can to make that program work as effectively as possible. And I think it will be a great contribution for the community.
Thank you. Mr. Horton.
I just learned recently that East Aurora is only one of 2 school districts that does not have full-day kindergarten. And as Dennis pointed out, I think we've all made a point that at the high school level, our scholastic showing is always in the top 5. Do I agree with the full-day kindergarten? It should have been done 10 years ago, before there were so many budget cuts, before there were so many restrictions. Do I think the foundation funding, their foundation aid is going to be there after the 2 years? I highly doubt it. And it's going to be an additional strain on future school budgets. When you look at a full-day kindergarten, when you take a student and you add that into a full day, what more are they getting than a break, a lunch period, and maybe an extra class? Is it worth that much when it doesn't seem like it is a life or death situation? These kids are getting an education. If there's a drop-off in grades in the elementary schools, it seems to be able to be picked up before they get to the high school level. I think there's a vocal minority who makes a big point of pushing for the full-day kindergarten, but in the long run, right now, being fiscally responsible and knowing the direction that Albany's taking and giving aid, it's a very difficult decision financially to make.
Thank you. Ms. Daniel?
I believe that full-day kindergarten is appropriate at this time. I think that, obviously I was not on the board, I was not part of the various committees that made the decisions with respect to full-day kindergarten. I did attend many board meetings where this was discussed. And my understanding from these various board meetings is that there are obviously new standards in place that the children are going to have to reach. There have been numerous cuts over the past couple of years to the education at the elementary level, as Ms. Covert mentioned. And I think we need to defer to the board. They had a committee look at this. As Ms. Covert said, they had 3 people that were against full-day kindergarten analyze the situation. They looked at this from a fiscal and an academic perspective, and I think we need to respect the board's decision that we should go forward with full-day kindergarten. I also understand the position that there's concern about the budget and whether or not there is going to be funding in the future. We can't look at this in a vacuum, or we can't just hope that there'll be funding. But with the conversion aid being available at this point in time, I think it's appropriate that we go forward with full-day kindergarten and we defer to the board's decision on it.